Some hunts offer unique opportunities that translate into memorable experiences. Just getting there would be an adventure. It all started on the historic Durango-Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. Built in 1881, the rail line was originally built to haul silver and gold from the San Juan Mountains. The line has been in continuous operation ever since, and today the vintage steam locomotive carries passengers and hikers alike through the splendor of the Colorado Mountains. As we loaded our gear and boarded the train, I couldn't help but wonder what life must have been like when this was the only civilized way to travel. It had been 18 years since my last mountain goat hunt in Colorado. When I drew my tag, I knew things would be different this time around. I felt it immediately, that voice in the back of my mind whispering, this could be my last opportunity to hunt mountain goats in Colorado. As tags are becoming more difficult to draw every year, not to mention the extreme nature of the terrain, well, and I know I'm not getting any younger.
What a way to get to the trailhead.
One of my favorite parts of hunting is the people I get to share these experiences with. And knowing the difficulties we would face, I was fortunate to have my cousin Ryan Straley and good friend Tanner Vernon on this journey with me. Our journey would begin at the Needleton Trailhead. Based on the information we had from locals and good friends who'd hunted the area previously, we decided to get off the beaten path and take the road less traveled in hopes of finding a mature, solitary billy goat. With our packs heavily loaded for a week in the backcountry, we started the climb. I knew the ascent would be daunting. In the first mile alone, we would gain 2,000 vertical feet.
A wise man once told me, if you're gonna go hunt mountain goats, find young, strong cameramen.
Although only a 3-mile hike, the gain in elevation of 5,000 feet over 3 short miles, laden down with everything one needs to survive in the backcountry, makes you realize this sure felt different 18 years ago. We just made it up to where we're going to put base camp for the next day or so anyways. On the way up we saw a pretty nice billy. We feel like he's pretty nice. He was a long ways away. Up over here on the backside of Pigeon Peak. And we thought about making a play on him, but he's moved on up the hill. The rugged shale cliff. Anyhow, he's moved on up. So we're gonna go up back behind here. After taking some time behind the spotting scope to acclimate to my new surroundings, I decided to venture a little farther into the basin from our base camp. As I came to a mossy overlook, my map told me there should be water on the other side. I slowly crept to the edge in time to see a goat not 30 yards below. These creatures are not as slow and docile as they were made out to be, and the billy bolted right in the direction of where Ryan had stopped to film the action unfold. Dang it. I probably wouldn't have shot him anyhow. It's starting to rain and snow again. When we get socked in, it looks like I don't see any twinkles of sunlight at the moment. With the weather having us tied to our base, the morale in camp was changing. I was getting worried that winter was coming early to the San Juans, and my fear of getting snowed out of a late season hunt could be coming true. We spent 7 days in this rugged high country without making a single stalk on a mature goat. My plan backfired. I thought by going later in the season the weather would push the goats down to lower elevations, but instead their thick winter coats drove them to higher altitudes, making them nearly unreachable. I'm a little disappointed. I hope to pop over this saddle and have a cluster of goats over here and a group over there. And brutal, rugged country. Exhausted and disappointed, we headed back to camp only to get more disheartening news. Tanner had received word that his grandpa's health was failing, and we knew at that point the next day we would head back down to the trailhead for Tanner to catch the train back home. I was grateful for his time, and we were going to miss him on this hunt, but family always trumps hunting.
All right. You guys know how interesting it is to see how a man can decompartmentalize on top of the mountain and really become emotional connected to, we don't really know what. It's kind of hard to explain to others. These last few days have been quite an experience. We know where there's some billies. Sean's gonna have to lower his expectation from a 9 or better inch billy because we haven't seen any 10-inch billies on this mountain. That's really got Sean down hard. We worked our tails off to get up here and it was fruitless. Hopefully I can persuade him to get back out here and fill this, possibly his last goat tag he'll ever draw.
I was crushed to think my last mountain goat hunt would be an unsuccessful one. I wasn't sure I had anything left to give. As we headed down the trail to the train, I was trying to reconcile with myself that this hunt of a lifetime might be over. Back on the train, I was able to reflect on my experience. I'm not ready to quit. I just need a new plan. We headed to a new part of the unit closer to Silverton. This time we were able to drive to 12,000 feet. The mountain goats would be around 13,000 feet, and my body was grateful for this small gift. After getting the lay of the land, we'd gotten eyes on a small group of goats and started the slow climb in their direction. As I came over the ridge, I spotted the group with 2 good billies in it. The goats were below at such a steep angle, and too far to make an ethical shot. The group of goats bedded on an open hillside, and with sparse cover, I repositioned into what I felt was the perfect ambush. Staying true to form, the mountain goats remained just out of range as they fed off toward the most extreme and rugged part of the mountain. I felt my hopes falling again. Would this even be possible? We set out, yet again, to get eyes on the goats in the hopes of being able to stalk into bow range. With the goats located and knowing this could be my last opportunity, I had Ryan stay back with a clear line of sight, and I made the trek on my own to get into range. As I made my way around the backside of the mountain, the snow and ice made a difficult hike nearly impossible at times, but I knew it was now or never. As I came around the peak, I was praying that my bearings were correct in this unfamiliar land and had picked the right spot to top out above the goats I had been pursuing. With the goats still in position, I removed my pack and began my stalk on the billy. Once in range, a new sense of calm overtook me. I am definitely speechless. I don't know what to say. 18 years ago, I killed a nanny, and it was my first mountain goat with archery tackle. And I always told myself when I drew another mountain goat tag someday, which happened to be 18 years later, I was going to target a nice billy with a nice full mature winter coat. I couldn't be prouder. Looking back on this adventure, I have so much to be grateful for. The good friends who helped me achieve success and the time spent afield making memories with friends and family is priceless. The opportunity to enjoy the pure beauty of God's creation in Colorado's majestic mountains. I can't help but to reflect on the extreme and sometimes treacherous terrain I had to navigate in my quest for a mature billy, and knowing that I had pushed my mind, body, and soul beyond what I thought my limits were. The overwhelming satisfaction of achieving my goal left me with a sense of awe and unbelievable respect for these hardy mountain warriors.